Working with Mapping Manager, Associating Mappings. The agenda. Associating mappings covers associating code maps with the data items mappings, associating reference tables with mappings, and linking requirements to mappings. Associating code maps with data item mappings. Click on the main menu icon to access the Irwin DI Suite modules. Go to Data Catalog. Click CodeSet Manager. Before associating a code mapping with a data item mapping, you need to publish the code map. Under the Code Mappings Workspace panel, click CodeSet Mappings. Right-click the required code map. Click Publish. Publish CodeSet Map page appears. Enter the appropriate values in the fields. Fields marked with a red asterisk are mandatory. Click Save. The CodeSet map is published and it can be found in the Published Code Mappings panel under the selected published environment. And here we see just that. A new version of the CodeSet map is created under the Mappings tree. Click on the main menu icon to access the Irwin DI modules. Go to Data Catalog. Click Mapping Manager. Under the Workspace Mappings pane, click the required map. The center pane showing the mapping specification appears. In Mapping Specifications grid, click Edit. Right-click Header menu and select CSM Mapping checkbox. The CSM Mapping column appears in the Mapping Specification. On the right pane, expand Code Mapping Catalog. Expand the required category which contains the code crosswalks to be associated with the data item mapping. Drag the code map into the mapping specification and drop it under the CSM mapping column in the required row. Click Save and Continue in Mapping Specification. The code map is associated with the data item mappings. Working with Mapping Manager, Associating reference tables with mappings. Click on the main menu icon to access the Irwin DI Suite modules. Go to Data Catalog. Click Mapping Manager. Note, reference tables must be published before you plan to link it with mappings. Under the Workspace Mappings pane, click the required mapping. Mapping Specification grid appears. Click to edit. Right-click the header menu and select the Reference Table checkbox. Reference Table column becomes visible in the Mapping Specifications grid. Drag and drop the reference table from Reference Table Catalog to the required row under the Reference Table column. Click to save and continue. The mapping specification is saved and the reference table is associated with the mappings. Working with Mapping Manager, linking requirements to mappings. Link your functional requirements to data mappings, helping in enterprise-level traceability between requirements and mappings. Click on the main menu icon to access the Irwin DI Suite modules. Go to Data Catalog. Click Mapping Manager. Under the Workspace Mappings panel, click the required mapping. Mapping Specification grid appears. In Mapping Specifications grid, right-click Header menu and select Specification Artifact checkbox. Specification Artifact column becomes visible in the Mapping Specifications grid. Click in the right pane and expand Specification Artifact Catalog. Expand the project node which contains the required specification. Drag and drop the specification on the Specification Artifacts column in the required row. Click to save and continue. Requirements are linked to the mappings. That's it. For more information, please visit irwin.com.